story here about Scrappy, and it's going to be a one beer story. My dad bought this car back in 1970, somewhere around when I was born, and bought it for 50 bucks. It was already cut into a Baja, so for the purists, and I get a lot of heat from those guys, it was already a Baja when we bought it. My dad drove this car for 16 years as a daily driver to and from Orange County, California. Traffic back then was still there, so a couple hours, 3-4 hours each day, each way. And he just was a trooper in this thing, to Dad. One of my favorite memories was being a little kid, always trying to be out in the garage with him. He'd come home on a Friday night and pull this thing in to the driveway. We had an old Chevy truck and a sandrail in the garage. Sandrail didn't have a motor in it, but he drove the Baja every day. He would pull the motor out of this car, put it in the sandrail so we could go to Glamis. We'd blast around all weekend. He'd come home early on Sunday so he could pull the motor out of the sandrail, put it back in this car, and drive to work on Monday morning. I mean, that's some dedication right there. He's a kick-ass dude. This is the third time I've built this car. My dad gave it to me when I turned 16 in high school. Begged for it forever. He's like, no, you'll kill yourself in that thing. You're getting something that's big and some heavy iron. Finally convinced him. He gave me the car for Christmas when I turned 16. And after crashing it once, rolling it on its side, it obviously didn't take it out real bad. It just crushed the door. Ground my arm down a little bit. Rebuilt the car. Built it once on a pan. Second time I threw the pan away and I built a tube chassis. It was about 12 inches wider and it was 10 inches wider and 12 inches longer in the wheelbase. Double and triple shock front and rear. Started out life with a 1776, went to a 2386. That didn't last real long. And then after a divorce, the car kind of got stripped down and the body got put into storage, just the body and the doors. So I had to sell off all the other parts to keep the house and all of that good stuff. And then last year, 2022, October of 2022, I had told myself for a long time I was going to make this a retirement project and build it. My dad finally got to drive the Model A. We had been building him for, he'll probably correct me on this, but I'm going to say 16 years to its first car show. And that kind of choked me up. So the boys and I pulled this shell down from the rafters. I've been packing it around for, I think we calculated about 23 or 25 years. Not a car really anymore, just a shell. And in 3.5 months, the guys and I made this and started ripping around in it. It's all Can-Am based, so I've got the Can-Am motor, transmission, clutching, wheel hubs, brakes, wiring. A lot of the components came out of the Can-Am, like the steering assembly. We built our own fuel tank, and we built the entire chassis. It's a custom-built chassis here at Blackbeard to fit the body of the Bug. The upper tubes are all rolled to follow the contour of the roof and side. And it houses the front diff, the rear diff has the driveline in it. It's all 4-wheel drive. Makes it a cool aspect to when you go out places. People don't expect to see a Bug turning all 4 tires. And then this year, summertime, we took it apart and put a newer motor in it. It was originally built with a 2018 4-seat Can-Am. We put that back together and I found a wrecked 21. So that's what's powering it now. And a couple of months ago, we upgraded and went to a compound turbo from Ibex. Those guys kicked ass. They helped us out significantly with that kit. And so now we're running a little bit more than stock horsepower and having a lot of fun with that. So that's kind of the story about Scrappy. I want to enjoy it for about a year and then I'm going to tear it down and powder coat all the chassis and paint it up nice. This is going to kind of be our showpiece. I want to start taking this kind of a build into production. We want to build a bunch of them with fiberglass bodies. We've got a fiberglass roof section, rear quarter windows and quarter panels. And then we'll get fiberglass doors and one-piece hoods. And I want to start a production line of these, basically build rollers. People can come in with their donor car, wrecked or non-wrecked, whatever they want to do, and we'll build them up.
Yeah.
They can build them up. And then I want to build a race car and start racing with it. And that way we can go out and make sure our stuff's proven on our side and make sure it's strong enough.
Right, and those will be the fiberglass based on your custom chassis.
On our chassis and all Can-Am drivetrain. I'm not trying to mix it up and do Polaris stuff too. We'd have to rework all of our fixtures, and I just don't want to do it. I'm going to stick to Can-Am stuff. So hopefully we can create a class maybe someday of racing these Baja Bugs.
Yeah, give them another life.
Off-road racing series.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even finish my whole beer. I was talking too much, but thanks for your time. Okay, we're getting an interview with my dad. He's just getting out of the car after bringing us back from Chocolate Thunder. What'd you think?
Michael, I want my car back.
Oh, shit. Yeah, good job, Dad. You drove it like a stud.
I want my car back.
Yeah.
Could barely keep up.
Oh, that was nice.
So to everybody out there watching, this is Mike, my dad. He bought this car.
$50.